Hello! Today we're going to start off with lesson 23. We're going to multiply and divide decimals. So multiplying and dividing with decimals is similar to multiplying and dividing with whole numbers. It is important to remember to include decimal points in the correct position. You can multiply a whole number by a decimal or multiply a decimal by a decimal. Multiply as you would with whole numbers. Then you count the decimal place in the problems and put the decimal point in your answer. So right here it's showing us to multiply a whole number by a decimal. It says, first off, it says to multiply the whole number by the necessary hundredths place and regroup if necessary. So this says 4 times 6 we know is 48. So our 4 is there, 8 is there. Next we're going to say 4 times 8 is 32 plus 4 more is going to give us 36. So 8 times 0 is 0 plus 3 more is 3. So that's where we come up with the 368. Number 3, it says count the decimal place value, insert the decimal point. So we have 2 place values right there, 2 place values there. So it's 3.68 is the product. Okay, so let's look at the next example. So it says right here, it says you can also divide a whole number by a decimal or divide a decimal by a decimal. Multiply both the dividends and the divisor by the multiple of 10 so that the divisor is a whole number. Place the decimal point above the decimal point in the dividend, and since multiplication is the inverse of division, multiply and check your answers. So it's going to tell us, first off, what we're going to do is we're going to divide a decimal by a whole number. First off, it says multiply both the dividend and the divisor by 10 so that the divisor is in the whole number place. So we got 2.25 times 10 is going to give us 22.5, and 0.5 times 10 is going to give us 5. So then it says to rewrite the problem, place a value point over the decimal point in the dividend. So go ahead and see how it went ahead and put that decimal point there. It's very important. And then it says just to divide as a whole number. So we know 5 will not divide into 2, but it will divide into 22 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. Going to subtract, bring our 2 down. So we know that, go ahead and bring our 5 down. So we know 5 will divide into 25. 5 times 5 is 25 with 0 around. So then it says, so the quote is 4.5. So we're going to divide 1.5 divided by 0.75. The way I do this, instead of multiplying it, I just move the decimal. If I'm going to move this decimal over twice, then I'm going to have to move the decimal over twice. I'm going to go ahead and add a 0 here, 2 times here. My decimal is going to be right there. So I know, so if you want to look at it, if you want to rewrite it and clean it up a little bit, it's going to be 75 divided by 150. And so we know 75 is going to divide into 150 2 times, and that's going to give us an even 150. So that's where we get our answer of C. Okay, and so in our instructions it says read each question, select the correct answer. Okay, so let's work out number 1 really quickly. Okay, so we know, let's go ahead and work this out. So 1 times, so we're just going to do 0, 0, 6. Then we're going to do multiply times the 4. So 4 times 6 is 24. And then 4 times 0, 0 is 2. So we know 4 times 0 is 0. So let's go ahead and add this. Then we're going to count our decimal places. And so that's where we come up with 2.46 as our answer B. Okay, so let's look at number 2. Number 2, it just plainly says to divide. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our decimal point over 1. We're going to go in here and move over 1 here. So we're going to move it over 1 here. And going to put it there. So we know 4 will divide into 6 1 time. That's 4. Bring our 2 down. We're going to bring our 4 down. And so we know 6 times 4 is 24. So there again, we have our answer is 1.6 is C. Okay, so let's go ahead and multiply our problem out. We have 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. And 0. We're going to put our 0 here for the tens place, and 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 7 more is going to give us 25. And then 9 times 0 is 0, plus 2. Let's go ahead and add 6. And 2. We're going to move over our decimal place. Our problem is going to be 25.76, which is A. Let's look at number 4. Okay, before we can divide number 4, we're going to have to move our decimal over. So we're going to move our decimal over here. Decimal over here. Go ahead and put it up top. So we know that 3 will divide into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. So our answer is going to be D, number 5. Let's go to number 5. Okay, so we'll go 5 times 3 is 15. And then 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 more is going to give us 26. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. Going to our tens place, we're going to put our 0 here. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 more is 21. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 more is going to give us 10. So we're going to add 8, 3, 1. So we're going to move over our decimal place, and so there we go. And so that is going to be D. Let's go ahead to number 6. Our decimal place over here. So move it from here to here. And so we're going to create a decimal place here and add a 0. And we're going to move so we can move this decimal over, and our decimal is going to be right here. So 8 will divide into 13 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. We subtract 13 minus 8, and that's going to give us a 5. Let's go ahead and move our 5 down here from here. 8 will divide into 55 6 times. And let's go 6 times 8 is 48. 5 will not subtract, so we'll divide. So we'll say 15 minus 8 is going to give us a 70. And so we're going to bring down our 0 here. 8 will divide into 0 8 times. So 8 times 8 is 64. Subtract. 6. And add 0 here. So 8 will divide into 67 times, and 7 times 8 is 56. 40, and so we know 8 will divide into 40. And there's 0 here, 5 times, so 5 times 8 is 40. And so our answer to 6 is A. Alright, so let's go to number 7. Number 7 reads, a bag of green peppers costs $2.99. How much do 3 bags cost? All we're going to do is simply just multiply this out. So 3 times 9 we know is 27. 3 times 9 again is 27, plus 2 more is going to give us 29. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 more is 8. So we're going to have $8.97, which is C. Alright, so let's look at number 8. So Brenda bought 9.6 feet of fabric trim. She cuts the fabric trim into 6 pieces. How long will each piece? So we know we're going to divide here. So we're going to say 6 will divide into 9 one times. Then 9 minus 6 is 3. Minus 6. And then we know 6 times 6 is 36. So our answer is going to be 1.6 feet, which is B. You see, almost forgot to put that decimal in there. That's why it's always important to do your decimal first. Let's look at number 9. So number 9 reads, the pay rate for a cashier is $11.58. If a cashier works 14 hours during the week, how much was the cashier earned before taxes are deducted? I went ahead and worked the problem out for you. I wanted you to see, all we're going to do is move the decimal over 2 times, and so that way we know she worked it made $162.12, which is C. Let's go ahead and look at number 10. Jake biked 32.6 miles in 2.5 hours. Assuming that his rate of travel was consistent, how many miles did he bike in the first hour? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to divide this problem out to figure out. We're going to move this over one space here and one space here and go and put our decimal here. Okay, so we know that 25 will divide into 32 one times. So we've got 25. Have to borrow here. It's going to give us 7. Go ahead and bring our 6 down. So we know 3 times 5 is 75. Subtract, bring our 1. Go ahead and put our decimal in there at 0. Put our 0 there because we're not going to use that. And so we're going to have a 0. So we're going to have 4. So we biked 13.4 in his first hour. Okay, so if you have any questions or concerns or anything, please feel free to send me an email at math1gjcc@gmail.com. I will have this worksheet for you to complete. It will be in the Google Classroom. And don't forget the code is 2MK74E3. Also, there will be some assignments in TABE Academy. You use your first name, number 1, password happy1. Also in iExcel.com, there will be some assignments. Username is your first name 1 at Job Corps. Your password is joyful1. I hope y'all have a great and safe day today.